Okay. Hey, good morning. It is I, Giovanni Heinrich Sanchez, with yet another edition of Wild Iowa. It's always wild in Iowa. Iowa's probably the wildest place on earth. And as you know, if you've been keeping up with my videos, and if you have, I appreciate that. Let me tell you, thanks for hanging in there with me. My cameraman was bitten by a shark, lost part of an eyebrow, terrible disfigurement, but he's on the mend. He's got about a year and a half of therapy before he can come back to work. So I'm doing all the filming myself. So here we go. We're having fun today, and you will too, because Giovanni says people need entertainment. The best time to entertain them is when they're not expecting it. Furthermore, Giovanni Heinrich Sanchez is always entertained, and very entertaining, of course. Don't you agree? Yes, I agree. Okay, good. All right, follow me. Come with me. Repeat after me. The shad is on the hook. The shad is on the hook. The shad is on the hook. Okay, I'm going to step away from the camera just a moment and cast this. Maybe you should be in a better spot. Maybe. Who's going to argue that point? Listen closely. I'm stepping right over here. And I'm going to cast a spell. No, that's my other job. I'm casting a shad and some blood bait into the water, hoping that perhaps I might hook into one of our notorious freshwater sharks. I was probably got more sharks than any other place on earth. I don't know anybody that spends a lot of time outdoors other than myself that hasn't lost maybe an eyebrow, part of a fingernail, skin off their elbow or butt cheek to a shark bite. It just happens, you know. A lot of times, I like to do a little fish dance to get things going. I know you couldn't see my feet, but I was doing a little fish dance for you there, folks. It's and I'll follow that up with a traditional early morning fish calling after I hang this bell. Now, my good buddy Woo couldn't come this morning because he was ironing fire again at, I think I called him about 5:30. He said his shorts were in a bunch and he was ironing fire. And he had too much ironing fire to do. And that is his real name. We call him Woo, but a lot of people call him Richard. And then I always say, can't we just call you Dick? Okay, good, fine with that. All right, here we go. He prefers Woo, though. Woo, Woo. Takes him back to his Oriental heritage. Ooh, every time I see him, he has Chinese eyes. Okay. I grabbed the wrong pole, folks. You know how that is. Well, if you're a stripper, you know how that is. If you're, a stripper, well, okay. Well, that encompasses a whole category of people because it's not as it appears to be. I was noticing the other day, I was in the courthouse and one of the local law enforcement boys walked by. Their boys are barely got peach fuzz, and I noticed that those were not buttons. They got Velcro and snaps. I'm thinking, those are stripper clothes. They don't pay them enough. They obviously have to have two jobs. What are they? Are they stripper cops or the cop strippers? Ooh, not sure. I asked him straight up, and he couldn't even tell me. He looked at me like, whoa, he didn't know what I was talking about. But I said, hey, you can't fool me. I can see right through your disguise. Ha, you're wearing stripper clothes, buddy. That's not a cop uniform. Is that a real badge? Tweak. And I thumped him on the nose, and he didn't like that very much. But I said, you can get out any ticket if you say, fa la 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 la. And I said that to him, and then gave him and of course he said, oh, I can't write you a ticket or give you any shit because you just did the fa la thing. That's how it goes. I'm making one more cast out of the ranging camera because I'm using the secret method. I caught him way out. Giovanni has once again spaced off that I was actually making a video. I wandered away from the camera and ADHD'd. Of course, I've been drinking heavily as usual. At this point, it is early Saturday morning, and alcohol, tobacco, firearms, the government says it goes together, but tobacco is very bad for you folks. Don't smoke, don't chew. It's bad for you. I'm just going to real quickly tell you that 500,000 Americans die every year from tobacco. And alcohol in moderation can be a lot of fun. And remember, everybody's moderation is different. I, for example, drink 2.5 gallons of whiskey every week and probably 3 or 4 cases of beer. But I've reinforced my liver with this new technique called plastination. I learned about it through an art show at the Science Center. Of course, they were already dead individuals, but I said, hey man, you can preserve yourself ahead of time if you're thinking. Giovanni's always thinking. So I use plastination on my liver. Good for about 100,000 years, folks. Yeah, so everybody's moderation is different. Remember that next time you see Grandma hitting the bourbon before 10 o'clock on Saturday or Tuesday or Western Day. That's the day between Wednesday and September. Okay, everybody knows it except you. Did I say you? No, I didn't. I would have said you looks good. You looks good in that skirt. I didn't know that Elvis was a cross-dresser, did you? Oh, he wasn't? Oh, where did I get that information from then? Okay, who's giving Giovanni bad info? I'm making a video here, and you give me bad info. I always liked Elvis, and, you know, I don't know what came about the Jailhouse Rock deal. Yeah, I can dig Freedom Rock. I'm here, I'm looking at you. I'm thinking, man, I miss my cameraman. I can't remember his name now. He's been gone for about a day and a half. And I used to say, hey, camera guy, get your ass over here, put that beer down, get me a beer, and let's roll. And he'd say, yes, sir, boss, yes, sir. And in perfect English, enunciated correctly, no hyphenization. And he said, how's your plastinized liver doing? I said, great. He says, well, maybe you should start drinking more whiskey. I said, well, I'm holding steady at 2.5 gallons a week. I think that's good. Where are we at? People watch me doing this, but they don't know that I'm putting these on YouTube. Hey, did you see where I put my pole in? I lost it. Probably by where I parked, but I can't remember where I parked or what I drove. I'm telling you, getting old is not for sissies, but I'm not old, I'm experienced. That means I've got quite a few tattoos, quite a few piercings, and some bullet holes. Okay. You know something. If you know Giovanni, you know something. You know where to get a beer. Giovanni will always give you a cold beer. If you're of age and you're not driving, and you're respectful of the flag and the national anthem. And furthermore, here's some advice that I give all young people. All young people, I don't care what their age is or gender. Well, my mom's young. She's young because I'm young. Anyway, and so is my father. And I gave them the same advice. Never turn, and this is a G-rated station, and this is a G-rated comment. Never turn down pussy, as long as your single end's clean. My best advice. Well, maybe not my best advice, but it's advice I'm giving you today. Don't hold a ball of thumb. Don't sit on your thumb. Always remember where you parked, and leave the dance with who you brought. Pack an extra sweater and some extra underwear. And if you're expecting to be a parent, have a little lady's fall, maybe a rubber ball and some chalk just before the delivery date. That way the kid can get a little exercise and practice writing his name. Give him a head start, you know what I'm saying? Just practical advice. Just practical advice, folks. This is not my full-time occupation. As I said, not my full-time occupation. And a chain of I'm talking about others, and I'm cross-fishing. Easily enough to take the remedy, popsicle sticks. As I said, I own a chain of food court businesses at the mall called Just a Biscuit. If you're at any mall, no matter where you are, look for the big glitzy, sparkling, shining, flashing lights and the big Just a Biscuit sign, folks. You'll be sure to try one of my biscuits. They're the very best. That's all I sell. Just a biscuit. You won't be able to get any condiments or side orders. Just a biscuit. Biscuits on the half, biscuits on the whole. Baker's dozen biscuits, but Just a Biscuit is the biscuit deal. I'm sure you'll love them. Make sure you tell your cousins and your neighbor next door. But don't tell Pete and don't tell Sally. Pete's a sheep farmer down in know, and he's too busy stump breaking his sheep today. And Sally, I don't know what we're gonna do about Sally. Everybody liked her till she quit bathing. Sally has become an irregular bather. I really hate to see that. But it happens. It could be worse things, of course. I have to adjust the camera because they can't see me. My biscuits are so good, everybody loves them. And I was at one of those places the other day. I think it was must have been a bachelor party. That'd be the only reason I'd be there. But I noticed that several of the girls were using Just a Biscuits for pasties. I thought, what a grand idea. And so feel free to use them as a bathing suit also. They don't break down very good in water. But that's what makes them so good. Grandma liked them until she lost her teeth. She made a bad bet playing poker. Now Joe has her teeth. He doesn't want to give them back because they fit his parakeet. But Joe likes to feed his parakeet cheeseburgers, so it works out. Probably read about it. Done some World Book of Records. Joe has the only cheeseburger eating turkey alive today. Let's just change up a little bit here. Are you going to count my beers for me? Camera guy, I ask you one more time. What are your responsibilities? Yeah, you're supposed to film, film, film. Not get bitten by a shark and miss work. Show up on time. Make sure Giovanni has a beer. And make sure you keep good count of how many beers Giovanni's had. Sometimes, like right now, I do have ADHD, I know. And there's no cure for it. As far as I know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, COPD and XTSD and XWTZ and all that stuff. And but I'm comfortable with it. And you should be too. Excuse me for a second while I blow my nose. What did I used to say? Touch your toes and blow your nose, or blow your nose and touch your toes, blow your toes and touch. I'm not sure. My very favorite folk singer, Arno Guthrie. He looks exactly the same today as he did when he sang Alice's Restaurant at Woodstock. But he's to be with the times, to be cooler. He's dyed his hair white. Amazing of him, I say. What a genius he is. Next thing you know, he'll probably be writing more poetry. He's a little bit more creative than Dylan. I like Dylan too, but you know, what do you do when you don't have a word? Hey! Yeah. Oh, that's funny, isn't it? It's true. Just listen to some Bob Dylan songs. Bob Dylan's a genius, but hey! I can't do it like him. Look at this, folks. This is not beautiful. This is Southern Iowa. Oh my. Stop. This is Southern Iowa.